So when we first decided to write the book, we had had several conversations where you felt there was a real need in Germany for a structured, detailed, explanation of Dubai and the Dubai market that you felt was very much lacking up to this point in Germany. Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, Germany is a big country. It's the biggest country in Europe. It's the economically strongest country. But there's still a huge lack of trust and of knowledge when it comes to the Middle East in general and to Dubai in particular. And my goal is basically to turn this pretty untapped market into a market for Dubai real estate. And by making this decision, I came to the conclusion that that can't be done through, let's say, sales conversations. It must be done through guiding a client by explaining the basics on the UAE before you jump into real estate. And that's basically the main idea of the book.
So what problem do you see in Germany or with Germans when it comes to buying in Dubai?
It is basically the fact that it's the Middle East. The Middle East is actually suffering from pretty strong biases in Europe. So we have like Arab minorities in Germany, but they are not from the UAE. Obviously, they're from Syria or from Lebanon or from Palestine. So many people, I would say, do not have a very good idea about how Dubai and the UAE actually is or are, because they see only the so-called migrants in Europe. Then you have to also consider that for Germans, the legal system, the legal framework is very important. So when they operate in different countries, they need someone to tell them what kind of legal framework they are operating within. So I would say, to break it down very simply, it is a lack of information and a lack of trust. And the language barrier comes on top of that, obviously. Arabic is a completely alien language to Europeans. So all these factors together make it for Germans extremely difficult to make a decision to buy.
But why do you think the focus and the emphasis is important for Germans to focus or look at Dubai as an investment opportunity, especially in property?
Well, because Germans still have money. I mean, the German or the German-speaking countries still benefit from the wealth which has been created since the end of the Second World War. But we live actually in highly overregulated countries where you have to pay tax on anything you can just imagine. So you earn money, you have to pay tax. You buy something, you have to pay tax. You inherit something, you have to pay tax on that. And in Germany, you stop paying tax on property only after 10 years. Right? You have to hold it for 10 years till you get tax-free. Mm-hmm. So when you now look at countries like the UAE or at Dubai, you see that it's the complete opposite. It's not overregulated. It has almost no taxation, and it comes across with the desire to attract investors, to attract capital, not to strangulate it. And this is the difference between Europe nowadays and the UAE. And that's why I found it very logical to think that once the main biases are out of the way, once this gateway to Dubai, to the UAE is open, then there will be an influx of investors.
But the contrast in the stability and the history in Germany of real estate and investing for the sort of upper middle class or higher class, people that are sophisticated enough to want to invest in a foreign country. When they have the selection of all of Europe, for example, Italy and Spain, which are very, Portugal, that have always been very attractive for investing, why do you think that they should supersede that and invest in Dubai?
Because the structural, the systemic problems which Germans suffer in Germany don't go away simply because of the fact that they invest in Italy. Italy is part of the European Union, you understand? Mm-hmm. So it is a general issue these people are facing. That's the first point. The second point is, I don't believe that you have to be sophisticated to invest in Dubai real estate. That's a prejudice. That's not true. If I look at the people investing in Dubai, they're good business people, but they're not sophisticated. Why sophisticated? You have to be sophisticated to write a book. about Dubai real estate, 500 pages, like we did. There you need sophistication, but not to
That's true.
but not to click on a payment link once you've made your decision and send money to a developer in Dubai. And that's why it's so easy. It's easier than people think.
I think though, I have to say, it's to be fair, is that what I found with a lot of European investors or American investors is that when they compare it to the safety of investing in their own country or in the EU compared to coming into an Arab region and having to deal with new laws and new regulations, etc., that risk factor has to be, that's what that gap needs to be shortened. And I hope the whole idea of the book was to help to narrow that gap, because I think a lot of it is just lack of knowledge. And once you have the knowledge in the way that you understand it, right, then I think, and that's what I think the book has done. And I think that you've done a phenomenal job because it's in German. And to get the ideas across in German, etc. And I think that this is the whole idea of the book, and that's what's going to help, communicate this to potential.
Yes, for sure. I mean, see, nowadays, if you want to invest in real estate, you take your phone, you call a real estate agency, and you speak ultimately to a salesperson. That's it, right?
Yeah,
like the
true.
same as in Germany.
Sure.
So, considering the very gap you were describing pretty properly, a salesperson is not the right person to speak to, because the salesperson can tell you how nice a project is and how sophisticated the environment is going to be in 10 years. But this is not what a German investor who has never ever been exposed to the Middle East or to Dubai wants to hear. He wants to understand everything what is around. So that's why the book is not just about real estate. The real estate part starts at page 200. Before we come into real estate, we enlighten everything what is necessary to know. It starts with the UAE as a country, as a society, as a legal framework in place, as a hub for economy, for businesses. It's about religion, it's about cultures coming together, it's about interaction. I found it unserious to speak to Germans who have never been to Dubai before about multi-million-dollar investments before having explained in what kind of environment they invest. And that's what the book changes.
Well,
it's not a sales pitch.
Sure.
It's a Bible on the UAE and on Dubai. And on that strong fundament, we speak about real estate investments, and not just about real estate investments. And that's another difference to what people here in the UAE might offer. We don't come and say how Dubai looks like today, how the market is structured today. We have a historical, critical analysis of the market. We started 2002 and lead the reader through all market cycles. And most importantly, we explain to him how did the administration of Dubai, how did the government react to crises? And what comes out is in the end not only, yeah, Dubai is nice, you can invest. That's what 99% of all people active in the market tell you. We come up with a completely new market type that goes far beyond what everyone else has been telling you for the last, let's say, at least 5 years.
Still for the German though, I mean, how does the book help to neutralize the anxiety again of buying in a foreign market, of a as you said, a sovereign market, as you said, a market with foreign laws that sometimes they don't understand, and to feel the safety overall, not just in the actual unit or property they've bought, but how the laws and how the infrastructure will protect them. This is the main difference, the main challenge that I've had. Most investors that in my experience of 15 years I've had, especially European or North American, is this gap between the stability that they have and the peace of mind that they have in investing, for example, near, closer. Also, to get on a plane, to go somewhere if there's any issues, etc. All of that, they look into it. And usually the investor that's ready to buy in Dubai has already done their homework. They're a much more sophisticated person. Dubai is not a sophisticated place, but a lot of international clients that are ready to invest in a foreign country such as Dubai are already sophisticated, and they do their homework. They have to do it. Also, they already have experience with salespeople. In other countries, for example, you have an agent you have to register with, and that agent represents you. In Dubai, that doesn't happen. You can have 20, 30 different agents telling you different stories that are going to basically serve their own purpose to make the sale. So it's going to be biased kind of advice and biased kind of information. I think part of the reason and the inspiration that I had to contribute to the book and was that I wanted to give this objectivity to people, and not being a salesperson, but just to give information that I would myself want as an investor, and I've invested in Dubai as well. So I hope that's what people will see. And I know it's written in German, which you did, which is amazing, and I hope that that's what they will get out of the book.
I'm pretty sure. So there's going to be an English edition as well.
Yes.
Most likely in 2026. We have contracted with the very notorious publishing house Springer Gabler in German, which is part of a multinational consortium. And we will also have the English edition. It will be even a little bit updated because by then we will have a little bit of more data. But right now we are pretty okay with where we're at. And I would just like to remind you of the year 2022, when there was this strong influx of Russians coming to Dubai. They were then at the 4th place of international buyers, which was absolutely not to be foreseen prior to that. And literally they would buy anything. They would just buy anything. They would have a Russian agent or a Russian speaking agent, and the Russian speaking agent would tell him, go there, go here, buy. They just bought it. They didn't understand anything, nothing they knew about Dubai. I saw it so many times, and I'm pretty sure that many of them were not very, very happy in the end with their investments, but they needed to get the money out of the country and to invest it here. Now they all go eastwards. They go to Bali, they go to Thailand. So I'm selling right now mostly. They're not anymore in the 4th place. Yeah, but you're right, of course. I mean, that's what it's all about. The story about Dubai has been told over and over and over again in the same way. And we did it differently. We came across not only with a new storytelling, we came across with a completely new history of Dubai. And this is what makes the book so special.
So I also want to clarify, though, that if there were, when the Russians came, obviously because of the war and they wanted to invest here, they were not so much particular about, they just felt it was safe to invest at the time until, things settled down in Russia. It was not the infrastructure, it was not the laws and rules and regulations of Dubai in any way that they were disappointed with. It was actually individual agents, maybe inexperienced agents, etc., that were advising them and perhaps over-promising them. So that is also another thing. I think the book, if you have this background already, you will already be informed and be educated and know how to not judge, but how to assess an agent's information.
That's part of the book as well.
To give you, which I think was very important to do in the book.
Another aspect which I would like to enlighten is the fact that as of now, consultation on real estate investments in Dubai is possible in Germany. Because I'm based right now in Berlin at the Kurfürstendamm 193B. That's my office. So any investor, anyone who's interested in the book or in Dubai in investments can come and see me, and I will advise him on the UAE. It's not necessary anymore to take a phone, to call someone in a real estate agency and leave it at that. And that's also something which has never been done before. Germans want to be, that applies also most likely for other people, but people feel very comfortable when they have someone who's not a salesperson who tries to pitch them, especially not based on the fear of leaving out on something, which is pretty often. You have to invest right now or you're going to lose out. But they want to take the time, they want to sit, they want to ask questions, they want to reflect on the questions, and they want to do that in a very nice, cozy ambience, and they want to do it in their own language. And this service has never been catered in the way we are going to cater it to German clients in the future. And that's why I'm pretty sure we will be able to open a gateway to Dubai from Germany.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Thank you.